by my colleague in government, Bill Conrad, the Superintendent, Sabatino Samato, Board President Matt Chimera, Board members Leon Vogt, Karen Whitelaw, and we're going to talk today about being back in school first week. We all know the feeling. You know, you walk through the halls today, you see the assembly, you feel the energy, and the energy comes from both the students and the teachers. Teachers are psyched to get back. They want to see their classrooms. They want to get everything ready. Soon, the cafeteria is going to be buzzing with activities. So when we think of coming back to school, we also often think about classrooms and teachers. What we don't think about is all the other work that goes into it, including keeping kids fed. So what a great backdrop to what we're going to talk about today is that we know we have to give kids tools to thrive in the school environment. And what do we think of? We think of a broad and comprehensive curriculum. We think about passionate teachers, and we think of that long list of school supplies. Every parent knows. But what sometimes we don't think about is having kids have a full stomach. Because you can't learn if you don't have a full stomach. Ask any teacher, they'll tell you a hungry kid is a highly distracted kid. So a child who didn't have breakfast can't really focus on their math. They're thinking about lunch. So for families struggling to make ends meet, food insecurity is a problem, and it has a definite ripple effect on education. There's children in every part of Western New York, every school district in Western New York dealing with food insecurity. We often think about it as a urban, deep poverty problem, but it's not. It's an urban problem, it's a rural problem, it's a suburban problem. It's upstate, it's downstate. It's not a new problem. School lunch programs introduced in 1946 by President Truman. Even President Truman knew you had to have a full stomach to be a good learner. It's been a great program, it's been very impactful, but we know that many families don't quite make it to the qualifying line. Many eligible families also don't sign up because they don't want that stigma of the kid going through the line and saying, oh, are you a free lunch kid or are you a reduced lunch kid? And the parents often don't want to admit that they need help with their families. This year in the state budget, we invested an additional $135 million to remove these barriers and to expand the school meals program. This year, nearly 300,000 more students in New York State will be guaranteed 2 healthy meals a day, free of charge, in the school district. And that includes every student in the Kenton School District. And because of resources we put in place in the state budget, thousands more students right here in Western New York and throughout the state will be able to get access to high quality food twice a day. So students have plenty to think about. They shouldn't have to worry about the cost of their lunch. Tackling problems like this certainly is what makes public service worthwhile. It's the real life impact of setting policy. So we're really happy to announce that this is the first year of this program. And certainly one of the experts in the state legislature in education is Bill Conrad, a former teacher. So my pleasure to bring up Assemblymember Bill Conrad. Thank you.
Well, it's good to be back at my home of 21 years, Kenmore West, where I started my teaching career and really ended my teaching career. I was very happy to walk in, and I have to give kudos to our cafeteria workers. It's a very hot environment right now in the schools. We begin the school year, and they work extra hard to make sure we have nutritious meals. I actually stopped in to say hello to some old friends, and they said I still have money on my account from 2019, so I'm really excited to get back there and get a chicken patty. Senator Ryan talks about the stigma. I was a student who received a reduced lunch, and then eventually, because my parents filled out the forms, and we were in a real tough time in the economy, and my dad was unemployed, I received free school lunch for my 4 years in high school. So I know exactly what that means. And there is a stigma attached to it, and it is embarrassing. You get teased. But at the same time, it was something I needed. I was playing sports. was participating in football, I was wrestling, and that in many cases was the meal I had until I got home. And I can tell you, as a teacher, I've seen firsthand how these kids struggle. I've seen the football coach here on Fridays provide a dinner after practice, and we're launching a school nutrition program here for athletes, also for dietary reasons, but to make sure that we curb that hunger. Many of my colleagues will tell you, you ask a kid, what's going on? You're real lethargic. You're having trouble concentrating. So they bluntly say, Mr. Conrad, I'm starving. I didn't get enough today. And when we have free breakfast and lunch, we see it firsthand. As a former coach, I can tell you firsthand what that means on the wrestling mat, on the rugby field. And I'm very proud to stand with Senator Ryan today and the rest of the school board and our superintendent to talk about what we fought for. But we came short. We came short this year. We didn't provide it for everyone. We got it pretty close to where most school districts now can provide it. But we have to appeal to our federal leadership. They gave us this tool during COVID, but then they took it away. Those funds for free school breakfast and lunch should be for all kids. And I think we have a mission unfinished, and I call on our federal representatives to finish that mission across the board so that no child, no matter what school district or school, gets that free lunch. Meanwhile, the state money that we provided makes eligible families who previously were just above the threshold. When I taught economics here, I always said, what does $2,000 over the threshold mean? Are they doing really well? And the kids would tell you, no, they're just getting by. So the bottom line is no children or no child should go hungry. And a missed meal should never be about a deciding factor for a successful school day. Now, with that said, someone who also knows education very well, our school superintendent and friend, Superintendent Samato. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you for this opportunity to speak. I'm going to stick to my script. Our board always tells me make sure you stick to the script because I could talk about this for days, honestly. As superintendent of the Kenton School District, I thank everyone for joining us here today. A special thank you to Principal Dean Johnson and all of our staff here at Kenmore West. Kenmore West is going through a lot of renovation, as you can see as you walk through our beautiful new entrance. And a special thank you to Senator Ryan and Assemblyman Conrad for your dedicated advocacy and support of the students and families of the Kenton School District. You see, as a district, we are now extremely fortunate to be able to provide free breakfast and lunch for all students, since each of our 10 schools now qualifies for Community Eligibility Provision, or the CEP program. This wasn't always the case. Until July 1st of this year, only 5 of our schools were designated, and the other 5 were not designated as part of the CEP program. So I put down some figures just to share with everyone and what this truly means. This meant more than 2,000 students in our district did not qualify for free or reduced lunch meal and actually had to pay full price. So let's break that down a little bit. If each of these 2,000 students purchased breakfast and lunch each day, the cost could have amounted to $1.4 million annually that families would have had to pay out of pocket just for these 2,000 students to be able to eat. Thanks to the outstanding work of our food service department led by Director Kim Roll, who will share with us in just a couple moments, all Kenton schools are now designated as CEP schools due to the additional funding that was included due to our representatives that are here today in the New York State budget. We know what a tremendous difference this will be for our families. As was shared earlier, research demonstrates that eating nutritious meals results in enhanced concentration in learning, reduced distractions, increased attendance, and especially improved social emotional outcomes. When we were able to provide free meals during the pandemic, we experienced a significant increase in participation. In fact, we saw such a positive impact on all of our families and students. After having to go back to charging full price that I just spoke of a moment ago, our cafeteria served 80,000 fewer meals over the course of the 22-23 school year. Once again, let me say that again. When we had to go back to charging, that full price, 80,000 fewer meals were served. For our students, the cost of breakfast and lunch will no longer be a factor that prevents them from having nutritious meals throughout the day. We think it's important that we understand how impactful this truly is for families. So once again, just a piece of information. An example, a family with 2 children that previously did not qualify for free or reduced breakfast or lunch will be saving more than $1,500 annually. We know that there are districts that are not as fortunate as we, and we will not be able to qualify, they will not be able to qualify even with the expanded eligibility that has been provided by our state. We also know that even though our schools qualify now, it does not mean that this benefit is guaranteed in future years. This is why it's so important to continue to expand eligibility for free breakfast and lunch for all students throughout New York State. I would like to now introduce our Director of Food Service, Kim Roll, to share a few words about the impact this is having on our students and families. Kim?
Thank you, Mr. Samato. So to be able to offer free meals to all of our Kenton students was very important to our food service team. Once the additional funding was included in the New York State budget, we knew it was time to apply for CEP district-wide to support all of our families. We believe all students should have the opportunity to receive healthy, nutritious meals regardless of their family income. We know that our school meals offer a variety of healthy choices our students enjoy each day and often include locally grown fruits and vegetables throughout our menus. We've seen firsthand how important it is for our children to have good nutrition so they are prepared to learn. We ask our parents to encourage their children to take advantage of our delicious and nutritious school meals and join us for breakfast and lunch in school every day. Thank you. Mr. Samato?
Thank you. Thank you, Kim. Excellent job, Kim. A special thank you. Our board members are here today. Without their support, President Shamera, Trustees Whitelaw and Vogt, also Trustees Marquardt and Spores, we work together as one family, one community. We have our Assistant Superintendent and our Director here today, Assistant Superintendent Morosco, Director Cross, and we truly believe that we are all afforded this because of the tremendous support of the gentlemen behind us. Once again, I'd like to thank Senator Ryan, Assemblyman Conrad, for always working so hard for the families of Kenton. I'll now turn it back over to Senator Ryan. No, you still have a couple minutes.
Okay, great. So thanks everyone for coming together to talk about this important program. It's clear that expanding the free school meals program is a big deal for thousands of families. We still need help from the federal government to close this gap, so we're looking forward to the federal government stepping up and making it so next year all school children are eligible for these lunches. Does anyone have any questions?
Thank you.
Now you know how to teach during announcements.
All right. Yeah, great job, everyone.
Sorry
Thank
about
you.
that, Senator Ryan.
Oh,
You're
no,
trying to
that's
finish a
perfect.
thought, and then the announcements go on, and you
Yeah.
lost them.
That's
So,
perfect.
all right, thank you, everybody. Cheers.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks. You guys are great.